I don't know if you noticed, but if you just came now, probably not. But I use as a screensaver, let's say, today, the sketch that we use for picturing the vertical dimension. So why did I use that? Because this morning I wanted to talk a little more about the fact that man, and as of course when I say man, I mean man and women. Man as human beings I'm referring to. Man is attention. Man is attention. Why I say that? Because we have something that, for example, animals do not have. In that sense, animals are much more relaxed than humans. Yeah, they're just themselves. They're just present with what they are and who they are. But man has developed this sense of being self-conscious, which animals do not have. So at a certain point in evolution, don't ask me at what point, but if we want to go into the mythology, we could say maybe it was when man decided to eat the apple of knowledge and fell from the heavens. Yeah, it exit the gardens of heaven of God. The story is he ate the apple, he was tempted, he decided to eat the apple from this fruit that God said, do not eat that apple, eat anything, but not from that tree. And of course, you know how it is when you forbid something to a child, that's the first thing that he's gonna do. I say, ooh, wait, let me try, what's with this apple? Why did he say that? I wanna check it out. So of course he went and ate it. So maybe we can look at it this way, that apple was symbolized self-knowledge, means the formation of an egoic self, of an individuality that suddenly made man separate from God. So when we talk about meditation and mindfulness, we often refer to the egoic self as one of the main barriers that does not allow us to perceive reality as a whole, right? It's like we are filtering, you know, a lot of reality, reality with a capital R, which is also the divine expression of everything, cannot reach us in its full beauty and bliss because we're filtering and we are preventing a lot of it from entering. And the filter is the egoic self. And one of the main tools that the egoic self keep perpetuating itself is the thinking mind, the egoic mind, right? We kind of overview that already. So what happened when man ate the apple is that that was the beginning of his identification with the separate self. So I said, wait a second, yeah, this is all nice and blissful, but I don't want to be just this. I want to see what is this apple about. So in eating the apple, he allowed the self-knowledge or the sense of I am separate from God, from everything, from existence, from the divine, whatever we want to call it. The word God is really loaded. I don't like to use it often, but separate from existence. And the separation happened through the formation of the ego, individuality. Now, don't ask me why that had to happen, but obviously it had to happen. Otherwise, it would not have happened. And my feeling is that it happened because it's a way that consciousness is explored. And through exploration, it enriches and it grows and it keeps growing, because that's what consciousness nature is. It's constant evolution. Yeah, as we were saying last time, the present moment is not something that is still and stuck and nothing happens. Even the present moment is a constant evolution, a constant movement, and so is consciousness. So I said man is attention because in that eating the apple, let's stay with the story of the apple, we separated from the whole and we created attention. This tension is also represented, that's why I was using that drawing in the beginning, by the two energy of earth and sky. Earth represents our animal nature, the connection with the earth, connection with our Mother Earth, our roots as human being in this body, in this form. Sky represents the divine, the transcendental, the non-form, the formless. And so we are a tension, which is also a bridge between form and formless, between matter and spirit. We, not by coincidence, are walking vertically now, because that also represents us with feet planted in the earth and the head aiming to the sky. Yeah. Again, earth and sky, matter and spirit. This tension that we are, I like to look at it as a bridge as well. So our body is vertically like trees are and connects sky and earth. So when we start our guided meditation, we often tune into that, as we mentioned, the body is always present. So what better way to become present quickly when we close our eyes and we start our practice? What better way than connect with the body? That's our first anchor, the most important, the first one, not the most important, but the first one. So feeling the physical body and starting by feeling the earth. And what does it mean? It means feeling the form and what happens in relation to the earth, which is a pull downward. It means weight, feeling the weight. So bring awareness to the feeling of weightness, that every part of the body has a weight underneath. And every object, once it's released and relaxed, falls downwards. So this is the first step. connecting to Mother Earth, becoming aware. Because what happened through the years, especially for Western civilizations, societies, we moved away from our gravitational center, which is our belly, the hara, what we define as the hara or the dantian in Chinese. In Japan is hara, yeah? That used to be more the center of gravity for man in the old days, and still is in some of the Eastern culture. Western culture have moved up, and they identify their center of self in the head and partially in the heart. Thank God also in the heart. Otherwise, we'd be only huge heads walking around with two legs underneath, because that's what I see when I look around sometimes. I just see heads walking around. There's nothing left. So we moved so much up. We moved our center of gravitation has moved up, so created an even more of a tension, a strong tension, because we separated from Earth, from Mother Earth, by moving our gravitational center upwards. Yeah. So there is, in Western culture, is like having a belly, for example, is like, oh, no, it's not considered a beautiful thing, even aesthetically, culturally. A belly, should be there, but not the big belly. Women should not have a belly. Men, yeah, when they're old and they let go of their body, it's okay. What to do? Poor guy. He's got a belly. It's okay. But, it's okay that he has it, but I don't want to have it. No, there's all this cultural conditioning that is pointing towards belly is wrong. Yeah, it seems silly, but that influences a lot how we perceive our bodies. Having wide, big shoulders is okay. Yeah. A puffed up chest is okay, but hold the belly in, Those are the models we grew up with. So obviously the gravity center has been moved upwards. And what that created is that an instability, because we disconnected from our roots, which are in the belly. Yeah, we ungrounded ourselves. So Western man and women, it's a little bit like a triangle, if you look at it, with the base up and the point down. So it's very unstable. If you push it, it's gonna fall over. A Eastern man or some civilization, some society are a triangle with the base down and the point up. So they're very stable. They're more grounded. Why am I saying all this? Because it's very important to reconnect with that gravity center, which is in our belly. That is what gives us stability. That what gives us grounding. That's what, when you're centered in your belly, things that happens in life cannot just push you around and make you fall into a whirlwind, everything that happens, when you are like this, yeah, and your base is the point of the triangle and not the larger base. Anything that happens is gonna just throw you into a hurricane, into a whirlwind, because you have no ground, you have no roots. You're very unstable. The other way around, it's okay. That's how we want to be. Yeah, the triangle has to be. That's why I bring the image of you're like a mountain when you sit. A mountain has a very wide base. Yeah, that's our belly and below our belly. And the peak of the mountain is at top of the head. That is stability and presence. In that way, we can move easily on the vertical dimension. That's what it means to be in the vertical dimension. So the peak of the mountain is the top of the head. It's beautiful. We have a physical representation of something that is not physical. So it's a wonderful thing to use this visual also, yeah? So the top of the head is where we perceive an uplift pull from the sky, from the energy of the sky. It's not a coincidence that in the Hindu tradition, for example, you know, in the chakra system, the top of the head is the seventh chakra that represents also the last evolutionary step of consciousness. Because they say it's through the seventh chakra that eventually you dissolve and open into the whole, into existence. You know, you merge with God again. You re-merge, you reunite. But there is no way this system can exist if the foundation, if we have disconnected from our roots. Yeah, in other words, there is no way we can transcend the body if we first do not completely embody ourselves. This is very important to understand it, because when we start to meditate and we get all kinds of spiritual ideas in our mind, we think that, you know, it's all about spirit and energy and the formless. Yes and no. It's both. It's form and formless. There is no evolution if we don't accept and embody both polarities. So if we don't learn to feel our body, to really embody ourselves, to feel our roots, to feel the earth under our feet, there's no way we can move towards the sky, towards spirit. It's the same. It's two sides of the same system. So when you help a tree grow, the first thing you do when you plant a tree is to find a beautiful soil. Well, he will have soil and space to grow deep roots, right? If you put a roots that, if you plant a tree in a little shallow soil, it will grow a little bit and then it's going to get stuck. It remains a dwarf tree. Bonsai are like that. In the bonsai, they keep cutting their roots. That's how they keep them small. They also trim them, but it's not enough. Because if the roots keep growing, the trees keep growing. You cut the roots, then you can keep the bonsai size. Same with us, huh? So grounding into our own body is quintessential, first thing, most important. So always when we start the sitting, we start from there, but not only. Then in everyday's life, when we move around and we do our things, we have to bring mindfulness to how am I feeling? How is my body feeling now? How am I feeling in my body? Am I sitting comfortable in it? Is the body relaxed? Am I feeling like a kind of shakiness? Or I'm really like a calm lake, the surface of a calm lake. Oh no, there's a trembling. Oh, there is a shaking. There is, what is it? Well, I'm thinking a lot. Okay. And notice that. Or you might feel like, well, I have so many things to do. I'm always one step ahead of the present because I keep projecting of all the things I have to do today. That makes you unstable. Good. Notice that. So we have to keep bringing mindfulness to how we move through our day. We cannot expect that we sit half an hour or an hour in the morning and that's it. And the rest of the day, I just lose it. I just go completely unconscious. Sorry to break the news to you. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. Mindfulness has to be taken from the sitting into our daily life. Just because your eyes are open and you are standing vertical instead of sitting doesn't mean that meditation is over. It's never over. Sorry to break this news to you. It's never over. We just make it more obvious when we sit and we close our eyes because we say, okay, I take this time, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever, 40 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. I take this time for myself. I sit. Oh yeah, now I remember Shastra said, okay, first feel the earth. I'm going to relax, becoming present. I feel the earth, I feel the sky. You know, you use your anchor. I feel the breath. Beautiful. And then, oh, time is over. I open my eyes. Okay, let's run now. I got so many things to do. And what earth? What sky? What? Feet, earth? What? Wait, I have so many things to do. I have no time to think about all these things. Are you kidding me? Well, then, let me tell you one thing. You're fooling yourself. Sorry. Yeah, sorry to tell you that, but you're fooling yourself. If you think that once, because you stand up and your eyes are open, you're not meant to be aware anymore, you're starting with the wrong foot. Okay. So one thing is to bring back this awareness to using the center in the belly when you sit and when you stand as your center of gravity. So if you're, anytime you're confused, you feel like, oh my God, so much is going on. I don't know what's right and what's right and what is left. I don't know what's up and what is down. There is so much going on. Go into your belly. Bring your attention there and feel centered there. Let your breath relax. Let your diaphragm relax. And when your diaphragm relaxes, you start feeling your breathing in your belly, as we say. Do you remember the sketch of the diaphragm that I showed you? Say yes or no with a head. No. Yes. Okay, there is both. Yes and no. Let me show it to you quickly, because this is very important. Very important. Share screen. Diaphragm. Okay, this is in Italian, but it doesn't matter. The picture works. Okay. So this, obviously, this is the lungs. Yeah. And this underneath is the diaphragm. That is a muscle. When we breathe, what happens? The diaphragm expands this lower part of the diaphragm, yeah, expands downwards, and that pulls the air into the lungs. So we can take a big breath by making a big chest, but that's not the natural way of breathing. The natural way of breathing, which is the one you breathe when you sleep, for example, when you're totally relaxed. Or when the children, even when they play around, if they're like 3 years old, 2 years old, they still keep breathing in their belly always For you, it's easier when you sleep because you're relaxed. You can notice when you lie down, your belly moves up and down because you're relaxed. And that's a natural way of breathing because the diaphragm is relaxed. And by being relaxed, it does its own function, which is expanding downward at the in-breath and pulling the air. It's like it sucks the air in, basically, into the lungs. And then by releasing and contracting itself upwards again, it pushes the air out. So why am I sharing this with you again? Because let me stop the share. Because breathing in the belly is the correct, natural way of breathing. So when you breathe in your belly, you are more relaxed, you are more grounded, you are more centered. And vice versa. When you're relaxed, you will notice, oh, I'm breathing in my belly now. Also, if you are wondering, but where is this center in my belly? This hara, this dantian. Okay, so hara is an area also, because hara in Japanese means the Italian word comes to me, ventre, and in English is, help me out. What's ventre in English? It's the area between this, the area of the belly, basically. Yeah, where the womb grows as well. So it's hara means abdomen, literal translation from Japanese, but there's also a center of that area, so you can perceive it, and that is roughly 3 or 4 fingers, 3 fingers below your navel, inside. If you cannot perceive it, sometimes you might perceive when you sit, you will feel like there is more energy there, or like there is a concentration of something, you don't know what. It's like you have a golf ball there, or a baseball ball or something, or a tennis ball. That is the place where energy, prana, gets collected, both from the prana that we breathe in and also from sky and earth energies. Sky and earth meet in that point, and that's where they neutralize themselves, because one is positive and one is negative polarity. Yeah, earth is negative and sky is positive. We meet there. That energy it's a reservoir. It gets collected there and then redistributed to the whole system when needed. So it's also center of our energy. And if you cannot perceive it, I'll give you a nice trick that some of you already know. When you breathe in the belly and your diaphragm is completely relaxed, so the diaphragm is expanding downwards, you will feel as if the air goes in your belly, even though physically the air stays in the lungs, obviously. But the chi that is contained in the prana, in the air, is transported all the way down to the belly as well. So that's why you feel your belly grows, expands when you breathe in, and you feel where you feel the lowest point where the air reaches. That's your hara point. That's the center of the hara. Yeah. If you follow the air, and if your diaphragm is relaxed, and you follow it as it goes down, across the lungs, into the stomach, through the stomach, to the belly. The lowest point that you can perceive the air reaching, that is your Hara center point. Okay? Clear? Good. Obviously, the diaphragm has to be relaxed to perceive it. Yeah, if you're tense, the diaphragm is contracted, it's not allowed to expand. So that function is not happening. So again, you're not nourishing this center, which is the source of all your energy when you are contracted. So when we are relaxed, naturally, that happens. We receive energy and we store it in the center, in the belly, and then we release it or use it for whatever is necessary. And again, even in the chakra system, in the Hindu system, if your Hara, if your lower centers are not developed and integrated, there's no way you can develop the full range of your chakras. So you have to start from the bottom. That's why this guy here, Osholino, I call him, my master, when we started working with him, what did he do? We started with primal group Tantra groups. So these are like all traumas, working with anger and working with sexual energy. So that was all like the first two chakras. The first years were just like work on that, because there is no way, if you're repressing your sexual energy, you're not integrating it, there's no way you can move anywhere. You know, if you're storing all the angers, then you don't know why and what it's like, and you don't know how to release it, you can't move up. So the first year was like basic work, a lot of emotional release, a lot of sexuality, integrating sexuality, to the point that in India, which is a very sexually repressed culture, as many of you know, especially my Indian friends, he became known as the sex guru, you know, and one of his first books was from sex to super consciousness or something like that.
That's correct.
Yeah, sex to super conscious, no?
Yes.
So the Indian press went wild. It was like, the sex gurus, you know, there are orgies, they're doing who knows what in that ashram, you know, they were freaking out. But truly, for those who would understand, that's what their foundation work, you know. And then slowly through the years, they moved up, you know. First, Pune 1 was first and second center. Then the old Oregon experience, for the guys that know what I'm talking about, was all about third chakra, which was power, giving away your power. You know, the whole Sheila story was a perfect example, to a mirror to show you, did you stay in your power or you gave it away? And then Pune was fourth, a lot of heart and throat. There was a lot of creativity in the beginning of the Pune 2, right? So a lot of creative art. There was everything going on in the ashram at that point. There was, you mentioned it was there. All the arts, the creative arts were there, the performing arts, music, dance, pottery, to all the way to martial arts, to acupuncture, color puncture, all the healing arts. It was what we call a multiversity. So fourth and fifth expression, 50th expression. And then in the last year, it was all about he would talk only about the last 2 years, mainly a lot about Zen, witnessing, meditation, silence, stillness, you know. higher chakras, yeah, sixth chakra, and eventually seventh. So there is a progression that is necessary. I'm just telling you this because I want you to make sure you understand there is no way, unless you integrate the form, you can move into the formless. Or you might, but you're going to just be able to access a little part of the formless. And then, like a bonsai, you're going to stop. Yeah. So man is a tension, and through these tensions, he learns to integrate all the different aspects and moves from earth, from body, from form, to divine, to spirit. Integrates these two. They connect in us. If we are not integrating the two, then they do not connect. That we remain either one or the other, you know. Somebody might be really a spiritual person and they think they are, and they have beautiful experiences, very etheric. But if they have no roots, that's it. They won't go any further than that. Just experiences. They will not become that. They cannot. They cannot integrate those experiences in the self. They cannot make themselves become the experiences. They still are object, outer object. And meditation is about being, not having experiences, but becoming that. In other words, you don't want to have a godly experience. You want to become God. No? To use the G word, which I don't like. You don't want to have a very heavenly experience only. Yeah, you want to become, realize your divineness. Otherwise, we are incomplete. Yeah, and that tension will remain. The only way that tension will relax completely is when we finally go back to that state before we ate the apple. But it will be much more enriched because by then we went through a whole process of separation and reintegration, which made consciousness much richer. Okay. So now what? Okay, Shastra, nice story. Now what? Oh, now we sit. And in our sitting, as well as in our walking around afterwards, let's try to keep bringing that awareness of the two energies. Yeah, not only one. Let's remember that we are not, our center is not in our head. And it's not even in the heart, even though the heart is an expression, of course, is an expression. It's a beautiful human expression. But what we express through the higher center are the lower center. So when we are connected to our gravity center, the hara, when that is well developed, then that energy will express itself through the heart, through love, through arts, to expressions, through mysticism or any vision or intuition anything that concerns, higher centers. But first, we have to nourish and integrate and relax into our bodies. And even the relaxation is a balance, there is a light tension and the tension is just, it's not even a tension, but it's a pull upwards. So we are well rooted in the earth. We lean into, we sink into where it's our base, but we're uplifted. So there is a little tension there. There is a core. There's a spinal cord as well. There's a vertical line that connects earth and sky. And what a coincidence, when we sit or when we stand, we have a spine, like we looked in the sketch. There is a physicality in the verticality too. So feel that all the time. Because if you don't feel that subtle tension, then you collapse into the ground. So the relaxation becomes sleep. You collapse. Or if you're only into the spiritual, beautiful, but you have no ground. Your feet are like, a few centimeters from the ground. You're floating around instead of being well grounded. So anything I can blow like that and then you blow away. Doesn't matter how spiritual your experience might be. You have no foundation to embody them. Useless. Okay? So that subtle tension is there and it's beautiful. That balance, that little tension allows us to be relaxed and erect at the same time. Same in our daily life. We are relaxed, but very present and awake. Our senses are all open. We know exactly what's happening all around us and inside us. Yeah. We are not stepping ahead of the moment and becoming tense. We keep taking our energy back to the present moment and ground ourselves. So every time you see, whoa, okay, wait a second, I'm 1 step ahead, 2 steps ahead, 3 steps ahead, doesn't matter how many, 1 is enough, come back, notice it and come back to the present moment. Ground yourself, feel your belly, feel the earth. Good. So find a comfortable position to sit and to practice. If you can, find a position where your back can be straight, which is not stiff. Be careful. Use your bone structure. If the bone structure is aligned, if your neck is aligned with your spine, the bone themselves pretty much keep you already straight. You need very little muscle then. If your head falls forward, you need muscles to keep it up because it's very heavy. So make sure your head is right on top of your spine in a way. You can even imagine to pull the chin slightly towards the chest. And that will make the top of the head, the crown chakra, go up a little bit. That elongate this area here of the base of the neck, and your spine's aligned. So this is not a good position to sit with your chin up. You contract, you block all the energy here. Not good. Plus you get cervical pain after a while. Yeah, so slightly for example, in Zazen, the beginning of the sitting, they just physically push up from the top of the head. So they sit and then they go like that, and then they release. That's another way to do it. So you feel like, whoa, I'm stretching my spine and my neck is getting aligned, and I relax, but without collapsing. Yeah, that's one good way to do it too. Close your eyes when you're ready. And feel that body, that beautiful, beautiful gift you have been given. A miracle of existence. Feel it. Be grateful for it. Love it. It's an amazing thing. An amazing expression of the divine that took form. It cannot be more perfect than that. So feel comfortable, sit well inside your body, knowing that it's a divine manifestation. It's not something to dislike, it's not something to be ashamed of, it's something to be proud of. It's something to rejoice in every cell of your body. Simply to have a body, be happy about that. Be grateful. So feel comfortable in your body. It doesn't matter what shape it has, it doesn't matter how it feels. The fact is, you have it, and that's a beautiful gift. Let it relax. Now, knowing you don't need to go anywhere, you can just let go and relax. See if there are areas that have some tensions that can be still released. A quick scan of the whole body. Letting yourself go from the inside. Letting go towards the earth. As every part of the body relaxes, it's like it's melting a little bit downward. Allow the weight to happen. Becoming aware of the pressure on the cushion that is created by your weight. And let that sink down even more. Let the body sink. Let your belly muscles relax as well, and your diaphragm. See if you can perceive the belly moving as you breathe. Letting the belly also being pulled by the earth. Let it fall. Don't hold it. Don't hold it back. Don't hold it up. Let it fall. Relax all muscles in the belly. See if you can perceive the air, becoming aware of the breathing, the air entering into the body. And feel if it reaches your belly. Without tampering with it, just relaxing. Let the breathing happen naturally by itself. But bring awareness to the diaphragm and the muscles around it to make sure they're relaxed. And if so, you let your belly receive that air, that prana, into your belly. And see if you can notice the lowest point that the air reaches. The lowest point that the prana, the chi, reaches is the center of your belly. 3 or 4 fingers below the navel. So allow every in-breath to reach there and nourish that part of your belly. Every in-breath brings energy to the belly, which is relaxed and connected to the earth. And so is your body, rooted and grounded, sitting like a mountain, stable, strong, strong in its relaxation, in its suppleness, heavy and grounded. If you may visualize yourself as the sitting mountain, you might visualize the peak, the high peak of this mountain. Maybe they are snow covered, really high, on the top of the head. Being uplifted, perceiving an uplift energy, very, very, very subtle, from the sky, helping to realign vertically, helping you to sustain the weight of your upper body on top of the base of the earth. Feel or imagine a very gentle lift from the top of the head. Do not lose the roots. Be aware of both energies. And feel the center below the navel being the gravitational center where the two energies of sky and earth meet. There's an alchemical meeting point. negative and the positive meet and become neutral. That neutral energy is what feeds your whole system, what we use to move in the form and into formless as well. It's a universal energy that is being embodied. Sit like a tall, high mountain with a wide base and very high peak. Embodying yourself. Keep your presence embodied, sitting between earth and sky. Let the prana in your breath reach your belly center. Let your belly center be connected with earth energy. once that connection is there, then it's easy. It becomes easy to explore the spaciousness, the inner body, the inner space, where all is perceived. And sometimes simply only space is perceived. Spaciousness. This spaciousness exists between the sky and the earth. It's well grounded in the earth and in your belly, resting on that. And the vast energy of the sky, of the ether and the formless. Air. You are an embodied spaciousness. Within your earthy form, you contain the whole vast sky. Try to remain aware even while you open your eyes. Do not move away from your center. Even when their eyes are open, you remain in contact with that center. Very good. How did it go? Who wants to say something? Raise your hand. Oh, Maria.
During the meditation, I became aware of that my shyness and my loneliness I feel very often is a part of my grounding. It's a part of me. And this was very touching. And I had the feeling that I could integrate these parts into the whole.
Yes, beautiful. It's like that when we allow ourselves to literally to fall. You know, it's like falling into your belly, for example. It's like we relax. It's like, and then when we allow ourselves to stay there, we might start perceiving things that we were pushing away. Sometimes things that are a little uncomfortable. Sometimes can be a sense of loneliness, for example, as you mentioned. But how beautiful to allow yourself to feel that, because allowing yourself to feel it, suddenly it allows you to integrate it. So the more we can live, let's say, live in our belly, the more we allow also things to come up from the subconscious and integrate them as conscious. It's like, oh, what is this feeling? Ooh, I'm a little afraid of it. Why? What is it? Oh, it's loneliness. I feel lonely. Okay, there's nothing wrong. Just can let yourself feel it. Then, because you have that base, that support from your belly, that relaxation, you have that strength where you can allow yourself to feel it, but to recognize it, and through recognizing it, acknowledge it, you integrate it. So it doesn't become a fragment lost in your subconscious. It's integrated. Yeah, I feel lonely. It's okay. And the more you dive into that loneliness, the amazing miracle is that the more you start feeling connected to the whole existence. That's a funny thing. The mind cannot grasp it. The more you allow yourself to really feel, to really be alone, the more you realize you are never alone in a certain way, because suddenly you start feeling everything, or the whole existence there, present with you. You know, suddenly a little bird calling from a tree far, far away that you didn't even notice it. You feel it, it's also inside of you. It's a beautiful thing when that
Thank you.
happens. Thank you for sharing that, Maria.
I can hear you a little bad, and for this reason I was using this. It was something like Maria, and it was interesting for me because I was feeling I was opening, so like roots, and there are something little, and you go there. And then I was connected with the sky energy, and the sky energy was helping me to go down. Like, do you know where when you are walking to the line, you have a net, and I was feeling I no, that's not a right example, but I was feeling enough safe to go deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly. When you have like a rope walker, when you have a net underneath, and the net is the earth. The net is the earth. So you know that anytime you fall, the earth is there to sustain you, to support you. So you allow yourself to take risks like a rope walker. No, you allow yourself to, let me try this. I never tried this. Let me explore this space. I never explored that space. I was always afraid. Oh, it feels like big, vast emptiness. Wait a second. But when you feel you have a net, and the net is the ground, is the earth that sustains you, then you take the risk more likely. You go into the unknown more likely because you're supported by Mother Earth. So yes, it's exactly like that. The more you ground yourself, the more you allow yourself to go up too. Or let's say explore the spaciousness, which could be otherwise be also a little scary at times.
and this and the specialness helped me to go deep because I'm connected, because I'm whole. So I can go, I can, I have the holding that allowed me to feel my sadness, my loneliness, because it's both.
Yes. Yes, it's both. We're sitting right in the middle, and we are a converging point of these two. We are an alchemical process. We're both. We are, as I said, what came out of my mouth before was like, you are this vast spaciousness embodied in this physical form. So sitting with that, integrating both form and formless, happens at a certain point by itself. But first, always ground yourself, because that's a safety net. You want to make sure you're aware and in contact with that earth. Thank you, Rafaela.
Thank you.
And everybody, now we're trying to put words to something that, not always there are words that are really describe what's happening. It's so subjective, everybody has his own experience, everybody has his own sensations, everybody perceives something or other. It's never two people are exactly the same anyway. So you find your own path. But it's beautiful to hear, what everybody's experienced something else, and how to put words to it is not always easy, but we try that. But remember, they're just words, that cannot quite grasp, the experience is sometimes so subtle that how can you put words to it? But we try. We have a little time here together, so why not? But remember, everybody's different, you know, and everybody will have a different experience. And every session, every sitting, every practice sessions in you is going to be different from the previous one and different from the future one. So just remember that too. Everything is very fluid, very ungraspable, and in constant movement and evolution. Still, we try to put words to it sometime. It's okay. That's why we're here. Somebody else wants to share something? Yeah, Abhilasha.
Yeah, for me it was very helpful today. Really, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because this grounding and relaxation is really something new or really feeling. And I want to figure out a lot with my head. And
Yeah.
when you said the first tension, man is a tension, the first sentence, you said the man is a tension, and then I felt yes. But it's very good, this grounding, because I notice I'm a lot up,
Up, yeah.
and also the whole thing goes up. My
Yeah.
whole body
Exactly.
goes up, and to be really aware of it.
Yeah.
Very simple, but it's very helpful.
Yes. Simple, but not so simple because we forgot how to do
Yeah,
it.
that's
The
it.
most natural thing has become something that we have to relearn in a way, no? Because we moved away from it and we forgot the body has its own wisdom and it follows natural laws, but our mind is, in contrast, is fighting it. You know, it's creating a separation. So it's pushing you all up in the head. So just remember also when you guys, when you walk around, keep remembering, you know, how do you feel? Do you feel the earth under your feet? How are you standing? You know, maybe you're standing at the post office waiting. There's like, okay, 15 minutes in line. Good, do standing meditation. So how are you standing? Do you feel the earth? How is your body feeling? Are your shoulders tense? Can you relax some more? You know, bring awareness to the present moment through your body. Feel the earth. Feel like I'm a standing mountain. Can you feel that? You know, or like a big tree grounded there. Feel your belly. Then suddenly you become very present. You become like the center of the universe, standing in line with at the post office. Beautiful thing. You know, every moment can be like that. Doesn't matter what you're doing. And the more you come back from the present moment and you let your mind be quiet, you know, the mind is always going everywhere else. Just tell, okay, just be quiet. Be here now for a moment. Let me feel it. And suddenly you go like, oh, I feel so much better. Oh, I like this. Why don't I do it always? More often I should do it. Yes. Remember, keep remembering. Keep remembering. And Gurdjieff used to say, keep remembering yourself. Keep remembering yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Abhilasha,
Thank you.
for sharing that. Aura.
Hi.
Hi.
I sometimes the keep remembering stuff is so difficult in the sense it feels so suffocating. It feels like, especially when I'm trying to meditate and I've had a hard day, it feels like I want to just run away, like, go run with the horses or go swim with the dolphins. And it constantly feel like, my breath is all haywire, and it's so difficult to just not do anything.
Yes.
The more I remember myself through the day, I'm so frustrated by the end. It's like, oh damn, it's like, it's so suffocating to
You
be
mean,
still.
oh, damn, I forgot myself. Oh, it's suffocating to be still.
Yeah.
You know, when I say remember, keep remembering yourself, I mean, remember your center. Remember to go back to your center. Don't let your mind take you everywhere else. That's what I mean by remembering. So why would becoming still and connect with a center, why would it feel suffocating? Explain to me.
Like sometimes when I'm meditating, these days especially, then I just constantly keep on moving. I just cannot.
Okay. So
And
you
there's
have to.
constantly this feeling that I want to run. I just want to run away, just escape.
Well, but running can also not be an escape. So, for example, if you have a lot of physical energy like you do, you need to move the body during the day too. If your life is like sitting in front of a computer, I don't know if it's your life or not, but if you sit a lot, at your age with the energy that you have, you need to move your body. There is no way. Otherwise, when you sit, it's like you sit on top of a volcano, It's like trying to keep a lid on the volcano that is like ready to explode,
Yeah.
So be physical as much as you can. Very important. And so go for, if you feel that, go for a run. Really. Is there a place where you can go running? No?
No, but soon I will be in a place where I can go running.
Okay, so when you are in that place, just remember to go, whatever you do. Or if you don't have a place to go running, put some music that you really like, close the doors, then nobody bothers you, and dance. Dance your way to God. Just let go completely, go crazy in your dance. Do that for half an hour, 20 minutes, whatever feels right, and then sit right after. And you will see how much easier it is to just become present. But that energy has to be used. So remember that, be mindful of that. Because otherwise, sitting is very difficult. The body needs to be used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Good.
And I'll let you know next week.
Yeah, I'm going to check on you. Don't worry. I'm going to keep checking on you. I'm going to ask you, did you dance today, Aura? Did you go for a walk? Did you run? What did you do? Good. Thank you for sharing that. Very important. Okay. Anything else? All right, then. We'll close our session here. And keep remembering. Whatever you're doing, keep remembering. I'll see you next Friday. I like this. This is like this is my Trinity greetings, like kiss, hug, namaste.